You're now tuned into STWF-TV, The Parlay Perspective. The Parlay Perspective. Where we talk hockey.
Feed Byfield around one man in on goal. Scores! What a goal! Quentin Byfield! And that gets Jim Fox out of his seat here at Crypto.com Arena.
Basketball.
To take matters into his own hands, Van Horn. Now, you got to get this in from Church here.
Football.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Wilson's going to lob one, and somehow, some way, Paul Richardson comes up with the ball.
Cuts upfield. Hurdles over a couple of people.
Oh my goodness, did you see that? He hit Steve Brown with what looked like a karate kick.
Baseball and more.
Well, there goes again. Pitch is swung on a miss. Throw to second base is high. They're going to say that Rojas got in the way. It doesn't matter. Sosa tagged him out anyway. That was an amazing catch and tag by Sosa.
In the air along the line in right. Long way to go for Jake. Follows round, and he's got it. And he's up and over.
The Parlay Perspective. The Parlay Perspective.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy, Coach Lee. Happy hump day to you. We back at it like we're mad at it. We are 2 days away from the weekend. Welcome to the Parlay Perspective, where we talk all things sports and sports for all things. Got the crew up in here tonight. Great show as always. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bring your people up here to come hang out with your boys. Let's get it started tonight. First, right off the bat, we got my man from the Northeast, my brother from another mother, Meta What?
Yeah, what's going on? It's Wednesday. I know what it is. People's elbow day. Hump day. What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good, my brother. Good.
How you doing, Coach? I like the hat.
Hey, man, appreciate it, man. We're getting close to it. I had to bring out the powder blue, man, the baby blue today.
Yes,
Almost
sir,
time
man.
for the opening day ceremonies.
Less than 24 hours away, man. But we can't bring out the festivities on this Wednesday night without our guy, man. Bring him in. He chillin'. Woo!
What's up, fam?
Coach? How we doing? What's the word?
Chilling like a mad villain, man. Can't complain, can't complain. Ah, take that.
I was going to say that.
No. Oh, man. No Diddy, baby. No Diddy takes the place of Paul's out here.
Yeah, no Diddy. That's too close to home. It's weird.
Yeah, real weird, brother. Real weird. So,
what we doing today?
got a little bit of everything today, man. We got some baseball. We got some football talk. We got some March Madness talk. We got some NBA talk. But before we get started, I meant to ask too this before we came on, but I got to sprinkle in a little cowboy talk every now and then. Is that going to get re-signed or not?
Yeah. From what I heard yesterday, man, it could be hell's on hell. I mean, for everything you've done with that, to now, I feel like the one year, play it out, man, see what happens. I think that's the way to go, man. I ain't mad at
That's what they did with him, about 3 or 4 years ago, I think they did that with him.
Mm-hmm.
The first time.
He's kind of been that type of QB to them, honestly. I mean, he people may say he deserves more, he deserves less. But honestly, I mean, if I'm the Cowboys right now, that's the way I kind of stand right now. You gave him the money, he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? You gave him the money for how he performed before the injury, and he performed pretty well. Got Cowboys, people don't look at the division titles and look at 12-win seasons. Of course we don't, especially with the Cowboys. And people and all who think of that, Super Bowl bust in this situation. But now in this point, man, where you can't keep doing the same things, 12 wins and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
Okay. I had saw something today. They were saying, and I've talked about this before, the incompetence of the front office of the Cowboys, and particularly the elder and the younger Jones, Jerry and Steven. I extract Will McClay out of that. He does his job, even though they put him in a hard position to do his job, draft after draft. He does a great job. But those two there, I don't know what's going on, but I've always ragged on Romo in the past, and I was listening to the local station today. They said something that made me probably change my own personal narrative on it. These guys are never really in a position to succeed, because every time you look up, one of those two knuckleheads is in front of the camera making bulletin board material, whereas most of the other decent organizations, their franchise quarterback is usually the face, or the coach is usually the face of the organization, not your owner, not your vice president of a team and Stephen Jones. They talk too much. They talk way too much. So Romo, I'm sorry, man. I owe you a personal apology.
Thank you for doing that.
It wasn't your fault, man. It wasn't your
Appreciate
fault.
you for saying that. It was never Romo's fault, man. It's not Dak's fault either, but it was never Romo's fault, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, when you wear the star, man, no matter who you are, 1 through 53, everybody gonna hear it. If you fuck up, you on the field doing crazy stuff, you gonna hear it, man. Cowboys lose, everybody gonna hear it. 1 to 53, 1 to 60 or 90, whatever how many Cowboys there is, man. Yes, sir, Bobby. Get that schoolwork done, man. Definitely. I tell everybody every day at work, where's your homework at? Get your homework done. You know what I'm saying? Before you have fun. That's what I said. Get it done.
I have to say, Will, you and I've had some talks off behind stage and stuff like that. Will, he actually kind of put it in my ear too. Romo was better than I was giving him credit for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll probably say the one thing that opened my eyes up to it is this is the first offseason that I can remember ever. And I've been a Cowboy fan I can remember back to like 1977. As far back I can remember as a kid. And this is the first offseason where I've seen where the narrative is to the point where people are like, I need to start shopping around for a new team.
Oh boy.
It's crazy, especially locally, man. It's people are voicing that opinion. I don't know if it ever be to the point to where he finally opens it up because he's so damn stubborn in what he does. And most successful people like that they've done it their way the entire time, and look at the results that it's gotten. But at the same time, man, he ain't leaving us no type of hope. Thank goodness. We got the Mavs balling right now. We got the Braves about to defend their title, and the Stars handling their business. Other than that, man, it'd probably be like Seattle here. It'd just be gloomy. Gloom and doom. But Cowboy fans, y'all hang in there, man. It can be worse. Trust me, it can be a lot worse. It's probably coming. Y'all remember those years between Aikman and Romo? How many quarterbacks we had come through here? I think I counted one time. It's like 17 or 18 different starting quarterbacks in between those two. We're probably headed to that again.
Oh, don't say that. It's not good. Not good. Not good.
27 minutes.
But with that being said, man, thank y'all for listening to my Cowboy rant for today.
Y'all got like a Cowboy helpline you can put up for this?
Man, you know what? We might need to do that, bro. It's
we don't need that yet. No. We don't need that yet.
Doomsday support group.
We don't need that yet. Now we gonna go one week of the season. We'll pick the help number if we really need it. We'll kind of tell around week 4, week 5 what type of team we are. So I'm not gonna pick the help number up yet.
I'm gonna invest in tiny violins.
You got enough time to do that if that's the case. We ain't gonna do it. We're gonna make sure everything's set up perfectly. You know what I'm saying? This is the case, man.
I don't know, bro. Hey, looking dim on the horizon. I have no idea what we're doing. I guess it wouldn't have been as bad if I'd never bought into it, but when you come out and you're like, we're all in, and then you do nothing. I think that's the part that's running people's nuts. But at the same time, because y'all had to talk me off the ledge when free agency started. I was like, especially Will again. He was like, "It's what y'all do. You don't do anything during free agency. You go shopping in the bargain bin after the draft and everything settles."
Also, I struggle to find when's the last team that won free agency. The last thing I can, maybe there's another one before, like after it, but the last one I can remember is probably
the last one.
I can't give him that one because who was it that was the free agent?
That's true. It was trades.
Yeah,
that's true.
The last free agent team I can remember is probably the Broncos with Manning and them, and even that is it started by a trade though. It's a trade.
Yeah.
Like they trade for Manning, I believe. Or did the
coach
let him
Manning.
Go? Yeah, they traded him.
No, the coach
they released him. The coach released him.
Yeah, after he landed there, and then I think
that's right, because it was the biggest it was the biggest free agency pickup ever. Okay, yeah, that's right. So yeah, they picked him up.
When they got DeMarcus Ware.
So and then DeMarcus Ware, so maybe that one. And then they went out and got Welker too.
Where's Welker type?
So
Where's Welker type? But let's get into a little bit of action here tonight. A little NBA talk. What I think we end up calling this one "Cooking the Books." Somebody's in a little bit of trouble, a little hot water right now.
Oh yeah, it's not good.
Jontay Porter has been investigated for gambling. You are correct. I didn't even realize he was even in the league.
Yeah, I didn't realize he finally. I kind of knew he was trying to surface his way into the league, but I didn't know he was officially stuck on a roster where he's been here, long enough to be in the situation he's in.
Right.
I ain't even know he had a brother.
See, me neither, bro.
And a brother, they both went to the same high school together when that team was one of the best teams in the nation, coached under Brandon Roy. He skipped his senior year, went to college early, went to Missouri with them early when Michael Porter went over there. He averaged 10. He had some solid numbers his freshman year. Sophomore year, he got hurt towards MCL and ACL. So then he kind of, didn't play sophomore year, went undrafted, been surfing around G League, NBA, couple teams in the league.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
More likely.
Immediately. So, in particular, the U.S. Integrity, they're a gambling watchdog company. They are investigating the Temple University men's basketball team due to suspicious betting activity. But in a Porter situation, depending on the results of the investigation, has a chance to spiral into one of the worst sporting bet scandals since the legalization began to spread in 2018. So he was betting prop bets on himself?
Yep, he was betting prop bets on himself. And honestly, keep it real with you, with the minutes he's playing, I don't even know how he even got things at the sportsbook in his name for the over and unders that they were there. That's the crazy thing to me right here. And the thing is, he
kept taking unders and getting out of the game. They even have record of him just being like, "Oh, I don't feel good," so that he wouldn't go on the overs.
Wow, that extent.
There was one highlight I seen. There was one highlight I seen where he shot the ball and he looked like he was trying to miss it like brick just straight off the glass, and it hit the glass and went in for 3.
he had the 1.5 made threes, and he fucking what a fool.
So there are 2 particular games that are being investigated. The first one is from January 26th when the Raptors played the Clippers. In that game, Porter played 4 minutes and 24 seconds. He scored 0 points and made no 3-pointers by racking up only 1 assist and 3 rebounds. He exited the game after that limited playing time with the Raptors, saying that at the time that he re-aggravated an eye injury he suffered in Toronto's previous game, a January 22nd loss to the Grizzlies. The second game came on March 20th between the Raptors and Sacramento. Porter's playing time was again limited, this time to 2 minutes and 43 seconds. He again exited the game early, this time with the Raptors saying it was due to illness, which Will talked about. He scored no points and dished out no assists while finishing with only 2 rebounds. And they said the reason why these games are being investigated, after the January 26th game with the Clippers, DraftKings sent out a daily report to users that stated that the under on Porter's 3-pointers was the biggest money winner for bettors among all NBA props from that night of games. After the March 20th game, the DraftKings media release stated that Porter prop bets were the number one moneymaker for that night for NBA games. While the exact number will vary based on the book, the bettor and the number of other factors, prop bets are generally limited between 1,000 to 2,000. One source told ESPN that multiple betting accounts attempted to place bets upward of 10 to 20,000. Man, is that not obvious?
That's obvious as hell. We watch shows, we watch movies and documentaries about that. How much money she put up on something, especially in come on, man. Especially on a bet that, I talked about a few weeks ago. How much money do teams get for the low teams that people don't put money on? So obviously, besides the NCAA tournament or something that's big, you're putting something on yourself and you're putting all that money up. That is wild. He thought he was getting away with that too. It's crazy.
This is the product of gambling being allowed in 50 states and territories. Should have lifted in Atlantic City and Vegas. And a side note, how the fuck Vegas have such good sports teams to the new city to all of this?
This is freedom. This is what freedom look like.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom
was definitely.
You gotta let people do them. You gotta let people burn their own shit to the ground.
It's harder to regulate it now. It's more accessible to everybody with the apps and the technology and whatnot. So it's gonna be hard for them to even wrangle this in. But at the same time, it created a whole nother different industry. Now you got these watchdog companies now. It's not just the better. So it's good for business. It's growth.
Creating jobs. Ruining jobs.
Creating hella jobs. Creating hella jobs. That's what more of the thing. People can say, they should have left it here. They should have left it. But what buildings and houses, rents moving up every 6 months. You got to open up new industrial. You got to open up new jobs. You got to open up new flows. So for the people that saying, betting should have been left here and there, you got to open something up. You got to. But it sucks that people still don't get the notion. You've seen Calvin Ridley in the news. You've seen hella people in the news with this gambling stuff. And you gamble on yourself. You got to be kidding me. And you're not even an all-star. You're not a star player. You kind of come on, man. They knew when it was jumping there. You put different type of money in. The number jumps itself. And that's when they get the red eye, oh snap, something's going on here.
20K on this guy? On that type of bet? That's a crackhead move, man.
Yeah. Right. God's definitely gonna be fried. I'll be. I mean, he like you said in the beginning, he ain't stepping back on the NBA court.
Nah, he probably go overseas or something.
Ice Cube, Big 3, baby.
Yeah, you know what? That's not on here. Let's talk about that. He offered somebody a big contract today.
He offered Caitlin Clark $5 million.
2 questions for you, gents. 1, does she take it? 2, how long before they spend this and people ask them, why didn't you offer Reach that same contract?
Oh, okay. We're gonna go to the second one. We're gonna go to the second one, and this is why nobody should ask that question about Reach. You know why? Because in a game like that, perimeter shooting really helps. Angel gonna get beat by those guys down low. Those guys as they get older down low play dirty as hell. Not saying that the guards don't play dirty as well, but the way the game is, and I've watched plenty of Ice Cube games, Big 3 games. I went to a Big 3 event. I just feel like that's the stature for it. But yeah, if people do come out and say, "Oh, why is Reese not?" They're not. Not going to be disagreed on. They'll be answered and stuff like that. But Caitlyn's the hottest thing going right now. You had to do something like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube's been chilling for a little bit. Last time we heard about him was when he was talking about how they just keep him, the gatekeepers are keeping him away. You know what I'm saying? And then you heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true. Last week I heard that the WNBA is trying to divorce from the NBA. Might have been false rumors, but I seen that.
What?
Yeah, it was probably a false rumor. Like I said, somebody might have put a joke post up, something like that. I don't think that would ever happen. But in terms of Ice Cube and the gatekeepers not letting them in, you gotta say something like that. You gotta say, "Hey, we'll give you $5 million." You know what I'm saying? See if Caitlyn bites, or Caitlyn in her mind's kind of like, "Man, they really love me, man." You know what I'm saying? They're upping me. So win-win for Caitlyn Clark, man. So win-win for Ice Cube.
I see what you're talking about here, too. The WNBA is supposedly trying to make a new broadcasting deal from the NBA as it seeks higher revenues. They're about to do themselves in.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to do that. They definitely don't want to divorce from them. You know, that's going to be a divorce that you don't get no cream. So
they might
you're not being treated like the female in this situation.
It might be a nefarious situation there, though. Because if you pull away and become your own thing, that kind of resets the timetable for when you have to start paying these athletes. Oh, but we can't up your salaries right now because now we just became our own thing. We're not subsidized by the NBA anymore.
Those slick mofos.
Or be real with you, or to be real with you, this is a ploy. Obviously, we all know they're all together. WNBA, NBA, we all know that. This may just be a ploy because of what we're seeing, what's going on right now, and all that stuff. You know, maybe this is a big old ploy, you know, to try to generate more money in years to come. How much talent we're gonna see at the women's level? You know, saying not even college, in high school. You know what I'm saying? You pay attention to high school ball. There's a lot of lady ballers, man. You know, coming in the ranks. You know what I'm saying? We think this class right here is great. You know, the class before that. You know, and the people that's still in school because of COVID. Listen here, there's a bunch of ladies waiting, man, and they some solid girls, man. You got Shaq's daughter, you know, coming in college next year. You got Zach Randolph's daughter coming into college next year. You know, you got Kimani Miller, #1 player in the land. Girl dribbles like a man, and I bet you most men can't dribble like she dribble. Coming in like advanced game. The way the game has elevated and advanced for both men and ladies, you're just gonna keep seeing advancement. Now the question is, can the market break even for them? It's still going to take long in terms of what they want, but I feel like they'll start getting something that, you know, I guess is respectable. I don't know, but it's definitely something going to be interesting, man, and it's going to keep my eye on the game, not because of that, but that's going to be a main focus of other people who come in and start watching the game, you know. So
right.
This game.
I want to tie something in there real fast into, you know, the narrative that you both just explained about, you know, why it may be advantageous for the WNBA to do this right now, you know, as far as the pay is. Last year during the tourney or after the women's tourney was concluded, we had kind of talked about the energy that they had as far as Reese and Caitlyn, and how it kind of reminded us of how Bird and Magic, when they came into the NBA, they can probably see that energy that's coming. And like y'all said, they're trying to move it over now, and they can use that as an excuse to say, we just got this new TV deal. The revenue's not there yet. We can't up the contracts yet. But at the same time, on the back end, they're bringing in all that money in. It's a dirty business, man. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
It is. Also, in terms of, as far as the other two things that were talked about at the beginning of this, Reese, yeah, like Took said, one of the reasons she's not going to be one of the ones they probably invite is because her game is a physical game, and that's not going to work there. She won't have an advantage. She'll be at a disadvantage the entire game. So like you said, no jumper really. That's going to be difficult. With that being said, I still think she could do something. But also it's marketability. Reese you're trying this for the first time, and Reese is kind of a powder keg. You don't know what you're gonna get from her. Like,
right. One day I'm gonna go out there and get 20, 10, and then get your money, get your bag.
I don't even just mean about on the court in terms of buckets and stuff like that. I mean like what she's gonna do. She's a little unpredictable at times, and if you're gonna try this, you're probably not gonna lead with her. But I do think she'll be a great player for it. I just think she can't be the first one, probably. And also, just Clark's the biggest thing in college sports right now, like men's and women's of any sport, like of any whatever.
You got Nancy Lieberman over. She still is working with the big three.
Yeah, she's gonna come.
Nancy, it's time to get the ladies' big three. Maybe you can get a ladies' big three similar to the big three there. You know what I'm saying? With ladies that still want to compete, you know what I'm saying, at that level, man.
And one last thing is, in terms of what Clark should do, she should 100% take that deal. However, she can't. She can't because
time, right?
No. That they already talked. He was on. I watched the Pat McAfee show this morning, and Cube was on there, talking about the whole deal and everything. And he even said like, nah. He's like, they looked at the schedule. Was only one of those games lines up with a game that she would play on, and he was like, it's later on. He's like, we can move that. It's not a big deal. He's like, I mean, if we're gonna be investing that much, we'll move the game. So that's not a problem. The problem is from her perspective. I don't know if she can do that deal. What she's about to come into in the WNBA, however big or small the WNBA is going to be moving forward, however big or small it's going to be, first of all, almost entirely relies on her and what she's able to do. The WNBA is at a point right now where that's why they may be thinking about doing it, like you said, because they're at a point where this is a crossroad for them. This is a stepping stone, a big one that they can take a leap from right now. And she is the exact player they need to do it at that moment. So with that being said, they can't afford to have her off doing other ventures like that. Even though it's a very common practice with WNBA players, a lot of them play during the season, overseas in other leagues. A lot of them do it. Like it's a very common practice. This is going to be different. This is Jordan, I think, and I'm not saying she's going to be that great. It's unfortunate that she's going to have even that line attached to her. But what Jordan meant when he came to the NBA, that is what she's going to mean. And I don't just mean on the court, like off the court even more. So the marketability, the sneaker deal, the changing how everyone gets paid, changing how the league makes money, she's the one. And because of that, they are going to do whatever they can. It's a monkey wrench too, because within the confines of the WNBA cap, they can only give her so much because it's just like the NBA. It's slotted. You can only pay them so much, but that is not going to work here. She's about to break the wheel.
She's about to break the wheel, and keep it real with you. I see the NBA, WNPA, all that stuff being petty and saying, hey, we may not could pay you this much, Caitlin, but we're going to give you endorsements that equal out to that $5 million that Ice Cube want to give you to go play in the Big Three. Where you won't see that on the TV screen, but she'll definitely be wealthy enough to be good.
But that's the thing, though. The problem with the situation is Caitlin turns around and then says to them, I can get every bit of that and the $5 million without you guys. I don't need you. So, but here's the thing. That's why it's going to be difficult for her to make this decision, because that decision, if she says that to them, that changes her brand instantly.
Yep.
Because right now her brand is for the women. Let's save the game. Let's change the WNBA. Let's make it what it should be. And if you take that deal, that's like when Kaepernick took the deal. I told everybody, if he takes the bag, even from Nike, if he takes that bag, it kills everything. And that's what happened. So She can take that deal, but then everything that happens with the WNBA, she'll still make money, but it's gonna be awkward, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know how the WNBA fights back on this because they can't offer her a $5 million bag. They can't do it. They can tell her about all these endorsements, but they're gonna have to prove to her that they can get her those endorsements that no one else can get her. I don't know if that's true.
I think for her case, I think in year one, there's more money for her to be made coming into the league than it will. She's going to improve, hopefully, and then you'll get more money. But this case right now, you have a chance to break money in terms of what an NBA player has made over a single season in the history of the WNBA. She's going to get that. They're going to make sure she get that because the best thing about the league and the best thing about what they do to the players that are projected number one in the draft, they hype the shit out of them. They hype the shit out of them, and I feel like she'll get that.
Look,
she'll get that.
It sounds good. It sounds good, but at the end of the day, they can only give her so much based on the rules. So they're going to have to change the entire system to pay her what she's actually going to be worth, and they can't do that until the next CBA for them. So there's no.
No, I'm talking about them. No, they can give her her own personal cap, but like you said, the sneaker deal. All that stuff's going to be acquainted in there. And like I said, she'll be wealthy enough to be good to not even have to take the big three contract. Because
I understand. What I'm trying to say is to you is that all those deals, they exist whether she plays WNBA or not. She can take a sneaker deal and go play overseas. She'll get all of that still. The WNBA isn't like the NBA or like the NFL where it's like, this is oh my God, the biggest league we have. Everyone's watching. They're still not. I mean, more people are watching. But still, as a grand, she's worth that entire league coming. Like, she's about to be worth that entire league by herself. Like that, they have no. This is Gretzky. You know, that's the better comparison. This is when Gretzky came in, he ended up being so good that he was worth more than the franchise that drafted him. That's what's going to happen with her if she stays healthy and just plays. So, like, I don't know how to. Like that's why I said break the wheel because they're to be able to pay her what she's actually worth. They're gonna have to change the whole scale of how the players get paid. Because right now the rules don't set up for her to get paid that much.
That $5 million, is that for 1 year?
Yes, that's for 10 games, coach.
Because I'm looking now. That's
10
crazy.
weekends. They play one game a week on the weekends. That's 10 weekends of her life. And she can do that while still being in the WNBA. She can just punk the WNBA. The WNBA is in a chokehold right now. They are like, it's bad.
I just think with the NBA, under the umbrella of the WNBA, and they already been hexing that cube, they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
But see, again,
she's going to be a WNBA player.
So would you just say the NBA wouldn't want that, right? And what is WNBA trying to do right now?
No, that's what I'm saying. No. Now if they do that, it'll be on stage for her. But they won't. They'll do everything but that because you still need, in my mind, to see projection. That's why I said year one of her being in the WNBA, even if this is the only year she ever played, she's probably going to make the most money in the WNBA ever.
I keep trying to explain to you that's not how contracts work.
I don't know. I'm not talking about the contract. I'm talking about everything. Everything she's going to be built with, like LeBron. He's built with Nike. He's sponsored by this much and that much. I'm talking about overall the bread. She can have the most bread in the history of the WNBA, even if she just plays 1 year.
Yeah, what I keep trying to tell you is that bread is there for her whether she plays it there or not. She doesn't have to play there to get that bread. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I feel like she's gonna have she's gonna have to.
Why?
She's gonna have to because, like I said, you're gonna still have to. Like I said, she's overhyped. She's hyped right now. She's hyped. So the hype, along with the hype, you're gonna give everybody. It's like a person going to college, 5-star recruit. We're gonna give you everything.
They're following her, so she has all the powers. What I'm trying to say right now.
No, exactly. Like a recruit has all the power until you don't know more. And what happens with that? Production, player, playing, all that stuff. Right now, she has the advantage because of what she's done. Her resume is undefeated right now. So say she plays this one season in WNBA. The whatever team she goes on wins 2 games, 3 games this season. She does nothing. She shoots 15% from the field. She shoots 35% from the field. In that 1 year, she's already banked out more than a lot of females have already did. That's all I'm saying.
No one's What you're saying is that if she goes to the league because of how big she is, she can make more money than anybody else. What I'm telling you is that's a cool story, but she can make that money without the league. She doesn't have to play in the league to make that money.
She's gonna have to go to Angel Reese route. No, it's all projection because we don't know if this girl's gonna be good after year 1, year 2, year 3. We don't know that. This is all projection right now. That's what I'm saying. Right now,
we know she got an offer on the table right now that would make her worth more than every team. I'm pretty sure. I think every team individual worth in the WNBA should be worth more than the team in terms of like their salary.
I got one observation and one question. Observation is right now there's 3 players in the WNBA that are the highest paid. There's Jewel Lloyd, Kalia Cooper, and Erica Ogunbowale. They each make $241,000 a piece. Those are your top 3
that
players.
On her way to the bank.
Yeah. And my second part is the question: how much is that Big 3 league worth? Now I see why the NBA is trying to discredit him. He's digging in their pockets.
People like that league when you know why it does really well live. And I think it's filling a void that got left by And1 not being around anymore.
You're exactly right. That's a great point, bro.
So it filled in a niche like that he found and on top of that, he added credibility to it by adding a bunch of players that we still want to see play. They just can't play in the league anymore. Joe Johnson, how many times did Joe Johnson come back at the end of his career and
that's currently the face of the league right now?
I know he was giving dudes buckets, but hitting game winners when he was like 38. And then or like 36, 37, like he was still nice. But now he can't run up and down the court like 82 games a season, but he going this league, he's still chewing everybody. So there's always going to be room for like street ball level type shit.
Right.
Absolutely. Definitely. We on the ladies, man. Shout out to the ladies in the ladies segment, man. I like that segment went kind of long. Since we're on the ladies, man, we got a Sweet 16 that we're getting started with on Friday. As you know, Iowa will be participating in the Sweet 16. They'll play number 5 Colorado on Saturday at 3:30. You got as well on Saturday. We'll go to the Friday schedule in a second since I've already went to that. We got LSU number 3 versus number 2 UCLA in their Sweet 16 matchup. You got Southern California versus Baylor.
Let's go.
You got Connecticut. Connecticut trying to make some noise, come back with the regime. They're playing number 7 Duke, which is probably the lowest rated team on the list. But shout out to my lady T. You know what I'm saying? T Mir, man. You know what I'm saying? Representing the Beam, man. She playing for Duke. Big upset over Ohio State, the 2 seed in that region the other night. So shout out to the Dukies, man, and Carl Lawson, man, over there doing their thing. Then you got games on Friday, the day before. You got Notre Dame versus Oregon State. South Carolina plays Indiana. That's gonna be a good one, definitely. Stanford against NC State is gonna be another good one. Stanford just had the game of the tournament the other night against Iowa State. That was a crazy. And Darkway, whatever her name is, put up a 40 clip. You know, my homegirl Karen Blink fouled out. Didn't really show nothing in that game. And you got Texas versus Gonzaga. So that's the Sweet 16, ladies. I honestly think that Texas can win it all.
All of it, huh? Ooh.
They had 3 players the other day have 20 each. Yeah, and I think they all like dominated the court and played ultimate, like literally
that's
like
nasty work. That's nasty work,
ball, man. So shout out to Texas, man. They there. I mean, hey, man, Hookem couldn't get them a title this year up in the football ranks, but you know it's looking pretty good right now with the way the brackets are looking, and everybody's gonna start to beat on each other. And hey, fellas and ladies, if everything goes well on Saturday, Monday night. We won't be watching Monday Night Raw. Y'all be watching a play call sheet, but I think we'll be watching something while we watch the play call sheet, and that's LSU versus Iowa. If LSU and Iowa can get their business handled on Saturday, then the Elite 8 will feature them too, the rematch of the national championship game on Monday night, and that's gonna be a good one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that'll be lit. We need
Can't
that.
wait for it.
Yeah, we need
When
that.
is NCAA tournament, man? Shout out.
That'll be fun.
Real talk, man. Vote. Hey, let me. We hearing the fellas, man. I hear y'all fellas. How's the fellas tournament? The first couple of days, it was kind of like, okay, give me something. And then you hit Saturday and Sunday, and the favorites went 15-1.
Yeah, it got chalky.
It kind of got real NCAA-ish, kind of like, this is why the tournament should be such and such and such and such. So one day Tom Izzo was wrong, and then the next day Tom Izzo was right. So that's kind of how that worked, man. So the men's bracket, shout out to the Bean. You host the East region, the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. And those games start tomorrow. You have Connecticut, the number 1 overall seed, against San Diego State, which is a rematch of last year's national championship game. You get to watch that at the Garden, followed by Iowa State versus Illinois, and I think that's going to be a good one right there. Iowa State, to me, this season, they've been a great team, but they kind of like, when I say they're great, then they lose. Illinois is kind of on that wagon too. Probably got one of the best players in the tournament playing right now. It's going to be a tough one, man, over there, man. And then you got Arizona and Clemson, and then you have North Carolina against Alabama. Carolina's still running the wheels, man, trying to make another Elite 8 appearance. You have Sweet 16 action on Friday. Marquette versus NC State. NC State's been hot for the last month and a half. Can they ride that Cinderella as they're the only double-digit seed, in the Sweet 16? You got Purdue versus Gonzaga. People had their differences with Gonzaga. Hey, they're not really this good of a team no more. This and that. Well, hey, Kansas don't count. They mocked Kansas. You know what I'm saying? They did the work in the first round. But this one right here, Zach Edey and these boys, man, let's see if they up for the punch. I think Gonzaga has a team that can go with the edges with Purdue. This is going to be a good one. Honestly, I might take Gonzaga on the line.
Oh, yeah? That's how you feeling?
That's how I'm feeling. You got Houston versus Duke. And we seen Houston almost lose that game, though, that the Texas A&M players fouled out. But they remained poised in overtime and got the victory. They're playing against a Duke team that's coming in. They have not beaten a seed that's higher than them in the last 6 appearances in the tournament. So that's going to be a difficult one, too. So it is. And then you got Tennessee versus number 3 Creighton. They'll end up the night on Friday, man. So it's gonna be one. It's gonna be once again another hell of a weekend. The sports equinox is somewhat intact aside the NFL. But you got some IFL, so watch some indoor football league. You got some MLB. MLB starts tomorrow, baby. Woo-hoo! It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be wild. Speaking of that, like I said, MLB tomorrow, man. First off, see your powder blue hat, coach. Can you flip that? Let them see the T real quick, man. Shout out to your MLB champions, man. The Texas Rangers, man. Because I got something sad to tell you, coach. I'm sorry we got to say this, and it's not even one game play yet. There ain't no repeating this season. But you're going to have a good season. You always a repeat.
I forgot they won it all.
No. Make sure you preference that. They won it all in dominating fashion.
All right. They did They did win in dominating fashion. They definitely did. Definitely say that. Because we was talking about all year.
We want to see though. We want to
Coach,
see.
I think I had to pick you up in like early mid-July, late August when I was telling you, like, all you got to do is get in, coach. Don't worry about the skid. All you got to do is get in and you're good. You know what I'm saying? It ended up happening that way.
We got all of what we wanted to see. What we want to see.
Huh?
Them against Philly.
Oh, Philly, yeah.
Yeah, man. So,
Atlanta, fuck Philly. Although I did like Philly's team, though.
Couple quick questions, man. A couple quick questions for the group. Besides your favorite team, what team are you interested to see this year? What team is gonna, I guess if they are gonna shock the airways?
So I'll say,
go ahead.
Good. Well, I'm cheating because I also have a second favorite team, which is Atlanta, that I always love watching. But aside from that, I'll say the Orioles, which is funny. Just the Orioles, they had such a great run last year. That team is so young. They're well coached, and They got more guys coming. It's unbelievable that farm system that they ended up building.
The crazy thing about it, I read this week that their number one prospect got booted back to the minors. So either that's good of a team,
they are.
He's not ready yet, or they making a mistake. But more than likely, he ain't ready yet, and that's cool for them because they have a roster that can win. I mean, obviously, last year they shown that they can pull up through a good regular season. But I mean, obviously, for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in so long, that was the woe. And this year they get to revamp, you know what I'm saying, and kind of go through the same things they did the last year. Hopefully, better success in the postseason. Yeah, absolutely, man. Coach, besides your Rangers, man, what team are you interested in seeing this season?
Believe it or not, the Angels.
Weird.
I'm still a fan of Wash.
It's gonna be my beloved Angels, man. No Ohtani no more. We'll speak on Ohtani's crazy behind in a second, but I'm interested to see him too, man, because it could be another man out in Los Angeles, and that's Mike Trout. You know, obviously he's been dealing with injuries for a long time. Now you don't have a guy that can kind of be in the seat when you're not there, and it's going to be interesting where you have Seattle. That's another good team. You have Houston, who's always going to bring the smoke. And I'm gonna say this right now on wax: the Angels may be the worst team in the NL West because I think Athletics are going to jump a little bit this year. Not a lot, but I think they're going to jump a little bit, enough to be better than the Angels. So this can be potential of a worst team in the MLB type situation. I don't think so, but it could be that way.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I hope Washington, I know he's up against it there, but I just hope he has some success. Especially considering the cloud of the circumstances that he left the Rangers. I still say thank you for even getting us there back in 11 and 12.
Yeah, man. So, hey, man, MLB starts tomorrow. Now I'm just gonna go over here and just. Oh, okay. So we got schedule here. Couple games postponed already. You have the Brewers and Mets postponed to the 29th, which is Friday. You got the Braves and Phillies postponed, make up for March 29th. But then you got tomorrow's schedule starting at 3:05. You got the Angels starting off the MLB season against. It's funny, though. We are an ill show because we tagged on the Orioles, tagged on the Angels, and that's the first game officially of the MLB season is them two Marks playing tomorrow. You got Tigers, White Sox at 4:10. Twins, Royals at 4:10 as well. You got a couple 4:10 games, so I'll just go through the rest of them. Yankees, Astros, Pirates, Marlins, and then you got Giants, Padres, Cardinals, Dodgers, Rays, Blue Jays, Nationals, Reds, Cubs, Rangers at 7:35, Guardians, Athletics at 10:07, Boston Red Sox versus the Mariners at 10:10, and then at the end of the night, you got the Rockies versus the Diamondbacks. They probably placing all those games at 4:10 because of the NCAA tournament, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that for the TV and all that. But nah, man, this is gonna be, I'm not an MLB fan between the first month and like the third month, but hey, man, it's always good to have the first day, and hopefully it's nice in a lot of locations where baseball's being played tomorrow. It's been kind of cold here, so good thing that the Red Sox don't start this season at home. They're on the road in Seattle, probably be not much better, but
Don't they start like with a 10-game road trip or something like that?
Red Sox, I believe they do. I think their first game is like at home at I think it's the 12th or the 13th. I think they play the Orioles to start the season. So yeah, man, MLB. But there's something clouding over the MLB as the season hits, and it has to do with the most important player in the MLB, man, Mr. MVP, Mr. I want to pitch, Mr. I want to bat. No, let me correct that, Mr. I can pitch and I can bat, and that's Mr. Shohei Ohtani, man. But in a different light tonight, as we're speaking on him, and late last week, man, there was news swirling around that his interpreter was fired. Took some loans from him to pay a bet off. Now we know Ohtani, millionaire. And when you come into mind of the sports betting world and all that stuff, when you hear somebody in the betting scandal, we automatically think that that person has something to do with it. But before we get into anything else, do you believe that Ohtani had anything to do with this? Or did this covering up with the interpreter did it?
You know what? I'm kind of mixed on this. Part of me wants to say that he may not have been directly involved, but he may have had something to say about it. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and says he wasn't directly involved with it, but he might have known this guy was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. Because other than that, I heard there was like some pretty hefty wire transfers of accounts coming out of them that you like. Even though you got that much money, you still gonna look up. You see some, couple of $100,000 coming out your account. You go, hey man, what's going on with that?
Right, as I'm saying, I said to the Will last week. I think I said because I commented about this when it first happened, and I said, dude, he know his money. And one thing somebody gonna know, I don't care if you Chinese, Vietnamese, English, non-English, you know your money. You know when something's going out your account. You know. Like you said, Coach, I don't care how much money you got. You know something gone.
$4.5 million that he stole from him. That's a lot of money for you not to notice.
That's not lint. That's money. It's real money.
That's not lint. That's not sin.
Let me tell you this. The story changed immediately. Remember?
Exactly.
So, look, we all from the same type of place, upbringing. We know better than that. We can have hope if we want to, but we know better than that. That shit looked like a duck. It walked like a duck. And the motherfucker quacked before changing his story.
Yep.
They gonna cover it up, though. It's the biggest star the game's ever seen.
Definitely. And this is the thing about the MLB, and this is why and I keep juggling it in hockey for like the barrel can sports. You know what I'm saying? But this is why baseball always tries to lead himself back in the garbage can. Because when it seems like it's getting right, when it seems like it's trying to get right, there's some bull crap happens. May not be on them all the way. In this case, it's not on them. It's on Ohtani and his camp. But this is why. You see this. And real purists like us is sitting here like, hold on, this sounds fishy. But we know y'all going to hose it down. But this is the reason why the MLB is where it's at. It continues to be where it's at because of stuff like this. And this, your best man, the man in the league. I got the world on my shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Human's gonna human.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that should be on a shirt, Will.
Talk about
humans are gonna human.
I heard the first four batters of the Dodgers combined salaries $1 billion.
Yeah, sounds about right. They got
that is crazy.
Mookie, Freeman, Shohei, and who was the fourth?
I think they just signed the fourth one today to a 10-year, $140 million extension.
Is that the catcher?
I believe. Hold on, let me see who they signed today.
Is it the shortstop? Seager. Is it Seager?
Hold on, let me see.
Not Seager.
Oh, that's with y'all. That's right.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got
Bellinger.
y'all right now. Hold on. Will Smith.
It is the catcher. Weird.
10 years, $140 million extension today he just got.
That's got on paper.
I hope the Dodgers never win. I hope they never win. I mean, we got a team up east in the Yankees that people hope never win. But if you hope the Yankees never win with what they do or what they did in the past and all that, and what they still try to do, you damn sure don't want this team to win. I don't care if they got Ohtani, PS Tuhani. I don't care what they got. Hope they lose. We are not fans of the Dodgers. Can we say that?
Yeah, fuck the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I hope they all step on Legos.
Listen here. So, fellas, man, we got some bills to pay. Let's take a break. You got a couple more interesting stories here, man. Kind of end the night on the boom, man. You know, see, we got commercial rolling around. You got one, Coach, for us?
You know I always got something lined up for it. Let's do it.
15, 20 seconds, come back.
Little J's Donuts and more. Located in Harahan at 1301 Hickory Avenue. Come in for donuts, savory breakfast, king cakes, and more. Check us out on Facebook at Little J's Donuts or on our website, littlejaysdonuts.org.
Yes, sir, man. For all my Boston piece, real quick. If you're not doing nothing, May 19th, go to Lena Park Community Center on American Legion Highway in Boston, Mass. The 35 and under basketball draft combine. Shout out to the homies. Shout out to Maine. Shout out to Sammy. Guys trying to get a 35 and under league going on. They got the 35 and over league going on at the Tobin. They in playoff mode right now. Shout out to the individuals playing over there. But yeah, 35 and under league gets more the younger kids, you know, a chance in the city to, you know, keep playing basketball, man. So keep doing your thing, man. So just want to throw that shout out there. Shout out to the homies. Shout out to the homies, fellas, man, fellas. We seen a couple weeks ago. We seen Cam Newton get into an altercation with some guys at a football tournament. For Cam Newton, in his case, you know, everything was good, safe and sound, no scratches, none of that, you know. But we know Cam's born from a different breed, man. We know Cam's stature. We know that he's 6'5", 6'6", 260, you know, domination right there. You don't really want to stand up with him one-on-one unless you really know you could beat the guy, probably. But there's something circle around the internet world concerning another QB, former QB that is, Heisman Trophy winning QB that is, Hook'em QB that is, and that is Vince Young. Now, great college career. I feel like in the NFL, he just couldn't get the niche. I mean, it wasn't bad in the NFL.
Jeff Fisher, man.
Huh?
Jeff Fisher ruined that dude. Jeff Fisher ruined that dude. Like almost
Apologist.
He did the same thing to golf.
Vince couldn't read.
Vince couldn't read. They always try to say we can't read. Well, God damn it. God damn it, Bobby. God damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby. You know they can't read. No.
Vince Young was at a bar last month. He was involved in a wild ball fight. One that ended not like the national championship game a decade and some change back for almost 20 years ago. So let's go and watch this video here. See Young, obviously they let you know who he is.
Yeah, he stay in a sweatsuit.
Always. Undefeated. Hottest shit in the ball.
Stay in the gray sweatsuit. Texans should have had him, man. I wonder how it would have been different if he was a Texan.
The home love would have did him good for a couple of years.
Definitely would have got him a longer leash, and he wouldn't have had Jeff Fisher to deal with. Also, they had Andre Johnson at that point.
Definitely. They had somebody from the Hall of Fame receiver. Man, listen, hey.
Might have been nice. Wait, wasn't Arian Foster there too?
Yep.
Yikes.
Yep.
There it goes. It looks like Vince is, for the most part, just trying to break stuff up, man. He's doing a good job doing that. And then that right there looked like a kid that just came out the park. 12-year-old.
And rocked him.
Clean.
I missed it. I looked away for a second.
One-hitter quitter. That's a one-hitter quitter, too, right on the chin.
Oh, you got to record the whole thing?
Hit him crazy. Hit him fizz. Now that show, let's see what they go here.
I ain't showing the highlights of it. This should go for.
Oh my God, Vince!
The dude in the gray, he's the one that escalated it.
Yep, sure did.
That's Vince people right there. He throwing bows. Right here. It was a sucker punch though. Blink.
Life after football ain't always good.
Nope, life after death. They don't care who you. I said this too. You Vince Young, the 2004 Heisman Trophy winner. Who the hell cares who you are? Let's see here, man. Real talk, man. Unfortunate for him, man. This was last month, so I wish we can have a talk with Vince right now in studio about how he feels after that a month later. But obviously we can't. Vince is not taking any calls right now due to the severity of phone calls he's getting about this incident. But
still sleeping.
Still sleeping.
Still knocked out, still sleeping. As in the NBA, there was not a fight, but a girly fist back and forth between it was Chris Dunn and Jabari Smith for the Rockets. That was common. One of Chris Dunn's biggest career milestones in the NBA. The guy out of Providence, had a promising career in college, and his career milestone was trying to put his hands on a 21-year-old rookie. But the NBA, we're hitting that point, fellas. We're hitting that point of the last month of the season. Actually, 2 more weeks left in the season, and the NBA's positioning itself for playoffs. Me and Coach was speaking earlier on the Mavericks playing excellent ball, trying to keep themselves out the play-in bracket, along with the likes of the Lakers, the Suns, the Warriors. Draymond Green earlier tonight gets ejected in under 4 minutes of the Magic game to start, chapping and yapping with a referee. Kept yapping and chapping at the referee, called him a bitch-ass bloop, and then on ejected. You've seen Steph Curry shaking his head about 3 or 4 times in regards to the situation. Definitely getting tired of the situation. The Warriors, who lost the game the other night against the Timberwolves, and what people felt Steve Kerr sat Steph Curry too long on the bench. And then Steve Kerr got a bunch of questions thrown at him about sitting Steph Curry in the stretch where the Warriors need to make the playoffs, man. That terrible situation. So I got a question for you all.
Right.
The Rockets are trying to sneak in to that last playing spot.
Hot team right now.
Will the Warriors falter in the last 2 weeks of the regular season and not make the playoffs?
Yes, because they're 3.5, 4 games behind the Lakers now.
Let's check these standings right here. We're gonna get some NBA standings over here for us tonight. Hold on a second. So, yes, the Warriors are 2.5 games out of that 9 spot. Blake is there. The Rockets are a game and a half behind them.
Rockets are 9-1 in their last 10.
Rockets hooping, man. I'm enjoying watching it too.
Rockets.
Udoka's doing a great job. Udoka's doing a great job with that young roster, man.
It must be Texas, because the Mavericks are 9-1 in the last 10, and the Rockets are 9-1 in the last 10. I said it could be Texas because San Antonio's 3-7 in the last 10. Well, do we count San Antonio in this case?
They ain't got the roster.
We don't count San Antonio, so we're just gonna say Texas is hot right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody except for the Cowboys. Nuggets, of course. Who's that?
I said that's fair and accurate.
Definitely fair and accurate. So on the Western Conference side, you got Denver riding the 1 seed. The Thunder are a half game back at 50-21. Denver's 51-21. You got the Timberwolves 49-22. The Clippers, who were first last month, they're 6.5 games back at 44-27. The Pelicans was riding a 9-game win streak until they lost last night to the Thunder. They're 44-28, 5th seed. The Mavericks are the 6th seed, and that cuts off to the play-in game tournament situation. Kings in the 7th, 42-30, followed by the Suns with the same record. The Lakers, 3-way tie. Kings, Suns, and Lakers tied for 7th at 40-32, and the Warriors hold that last play-in spot. Eastern Conference, a little bit more of a clear view here. The Celtics lead by 11 games out east, 57-15 they are. Bucks are 46-26. The Knicks are 2.5 games back of the Bucks, 43-28. Cleveland is 44-29. The Magic, 42-30. Surprising season. Shout out to the Magic. Pacers, 41-32. Cut off to the play-in. 7 Heat, 39-33, along with the Sixers, 39-33. And they just got some news that Joel Embiid will be back in the lineup possibly before the season is over. I don't know why. You probably should just sit him out. But the Sixers feel like they're probably let's see if they're in danger. I mean, the Bulls are 9th with a 5-game lead that the Heat and Sixers got on them. And then the Hawks are number 10. They got the last playing spot. The Nets are 11. And then 6 games out of that 10 spot. So the Hawks, despite no Trae Young, they've been playing a little bit decent since Trae's not there. But that's because DeAndre Murray gets to play his natural position. And it's kind of like no biff and bad. But the Hawks, been playing solid basketball to get in that 10 spot. So that's the playoff standings. But, every year they chatter. Who's the MVP? Who's the MVP of the league? Who are you guys' MVPs if you had to put your vote in today? Your vote was the deciding vote for MVP.
SGA.
Yeah.
SGA going both ways. Hey, I would like to see a new MVP. I would go SGA too, man. You know what I'm saying? I like a new MVP every year. People don't like it, but I like it. I mean, the way the NBA is now, man, put the MVP on somebody who's new every year. Might as well, man.
You know what's crazy?
Is
the top 4 people for the odds favorites or rankings rather. They're all international players.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we about to go in here. Number 5 on the MVP ladder, Jason Tatum. Was stood at 5 last week. 27.1 points a game, 8.3 rebounds a game, 4.9 assists will round out to 5. So 27, 8, and 5 for him. You got number 4, Luka Doncic, 34 points a game, 9 rebounds, 10 assists a game. We'll round that out. It's 9.8 actually. You got Giannis holding the 3 spot. This guy's averaging 30.7 points a game, 11.2 rebounds per game, 6.4 assists per game. Then you have number 2. You got the man, Mr. Hollywood, Mr. I will freestyle after a game, win or loss. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Oklahoma City Thunder, averaging 31 points per game. We round that 9 now. I'm rounding everybody else now. I'm giving y'all good stuff. Extra incentives for y'all from me, even though I can't pay y'all. 5.6 rebounds a game, 6.4 assists per game. Guys pitting all for the young Thunder team this year. Will said it last week, and literally I watched probably 2 games since of his. Nobody can D the mid-range game. He's got it packed on lock. Like, I was just watching him the other night, sitting here like, and then I watched him a little bit last night in the rerun against the Pelicans. I'm just like, yeah.
It's like they don't even know what it is. It's like when the natives saw ships rolling in on the water, they just have no idea.
I had no idea at all.
What is this strange activity?
Yeah. It's craziness.
And then you have number 1 here. You have number 1, Nikola Jokic, who should have been back-to-back last year. People say no, and Embiid deserved it. But this man right here is trying to get a second MVP in 3 years. He's on top right now. 26.1 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, and 9 assists per game. I think he's questionable tonight to play. I think he's dealing with hip soreness or something like that, back hip soreness. So if he's to miss a string of games going in the season's end, number 2 may be number 1, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander may be the MVP, but we all disagree that we would take him with our deciding vote. But if Jokic is the MVP at the end of the day, we're not mad at it either, but I would like to see number 2 win it. Because isn't his number 2? Hey, get it, boy. Get that boy, man. The last MVP to win, the last person to win MVP from the Oklahoma City Thunder was Russell Westbrook. And I think that was his triple-double year. So shout out to the Thunder. Shout out to the Thunder for always drafting great. Shout out to Sam Presti and the guys. Shout out to, in this case, they do get another MVP, man.
It makes no sense how good they are at drafting.
Yeah.
At all.
They got a bunch of draft picks.
They still have more to go. Like, and what are you going to draft at this point? You're going to have like a whole Hall of Fame team and be picking first still. Stupid.
Did y'all hear about the G League?
What about it?
I don't know if it's the G League Ignite team. Is that a team or is that the league? The Ignite is that as a team? They're taking that team out the G League.
Why?
I guess from what I've seen in reports, to me it just sounds like some bullshit. But the way the roster is constructed and the fact that a lot of them plays on that team is basically getting the ring to the bread. I think. I don't know. But it just seems odd to me that they're taking that team out the G League. That's produced a lot of great players over the last few years, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the stature of the team. I mean, I think Scoot played for them last year. Scoot, we know, had a rough start to his rookie year. It's kind of mediocre now, but it's definitely better than it was the first month and a half of the season for him. So
yeah, he was garbage at first. You got to feel.
Now I want to look at the rookie ladder. So I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go get the rookie ladder up real quick. We gonna get it over. Might as well, man. Just for shits and giggles, we already hit. So let's see what we got over here. And obviously we know who number one is, but it's good to see, you know, who the other guys are riding here. So we have number 5, Jaime Vasquez Jr., Miami. Hold on, let me see if this is the right date right here. Yes, it is. Okay, so Jaime Vasquez Jr. from the Heat, 12 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3.9 rebounds a game, 2.6 assists per game. He was the 18th pick in the draft. Number 4, Amon Thompson from Houston, 8.8 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2.3 assists per game. Number 4 pick in this year's draft. You got number 3, Charlotte Hornets. Very quiet season, but definitely doing some things that you can kind of build on in Charlotte. I don't know if build in Charlotte goes in the same sentence, but I just did this now. And that's Brandon Miller. 16.8 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, 2nd overall pick in this year's draft. Number 2, red shirt, cat back. You can use all those words, but he's a rookie in this ladder. And that's Chet Holmgren with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Riding it with Shea Alexander, 16.9 points per game. We ride that 17, baby. 8 rebounds per game, 2.4 blocks a game. Number 2 pick in 2022. And we all know who number 1 is. Well-deserved. Maybe some people saying he shouldn't be on this rookie ladder because this is just unfair in some aspects of what this guy is doing. And that's Victor Wembanyama. And I remember this earlier in the season with just sitting here like, and I said this, people said, should they sit him, you know, towards the end of the season, da-da-da. And I'm like, hell no. Keep playing him. Keep playing him. Well, they kind of keep playing him, and it's cool to see. You see where they kind of sit him out, but it's good to see him still riding high playing, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, hey, man, let the guy work. You know, 20.7 points per game, 10.4 rebounds per game, 3.4 blocks per game, number 1 on the last ladder, number 1 pick. Might as well number 1 him. Rookie of the year, Victor Wembanyama. We're going to celebrate your win now. It's a celebration in here, man.
He's basically going to be Defensive Player of the Year every year.
Beast, dog.
It'll just be years where he didn't play enough games that he doesn't win it.
You know they said there's a curse? There's a Wembanyama curse?
What?
They said, hold on. This is funny as shit, though. Funny. They said Embiid dropped 50 on him. I think the next game Embiid got hurt, and there's a few other players. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to try to send it to you on the group chat.
No.
I guess, like, a couple of people have, you know, got their working against them or in all the Spurs, and then the next game or two, that player got hurt or something happened to that player. So I'm gonna look it up. There's a couple of star players too. So they called somebody on the line was calling it the Wembanyama curse. But it's really funny, man. Shout out to Texas, man. And I want to give a shout out, man. We'll give a shout out to you, to the Mavs, coach, but not just the Mavs in general. A certain Mav. I want to shout out Kyrie Irving, man.
Ballin'.
Want to shout out Kyrie Irving, man.
Killing right now.
I don't know what it's in the weather and the water down there in Dallas, but he's on the springs. He's dunking. Dunks this season.
I feel like he'd be nervous, and Luka keep throwing him alleys, and he's like, "Yo, stop!" But then he keeps catching them. So.
You know what the crazy thing is? Luka's throwing them. You know what the fucked up thing is? It's not really fucked up in the aspect, but it just shows how much of a player Luka is and how much he's dedicated to the game and winning. And I think he likes Kyrie. I'm not gonna say he loves Kyrie, but I think he likes him.
I think he likes
It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. My man got an empty stomach, and you over here throwing them. Almost got him jumping up like he's on the amusement park rides. You know what I'm saying? Like you got him going, man. Shout out to Kai, man. Doing good things with Dallas, as Coach said earlier. Dallas is rolling right now.
Man. It sounds like
playing with continuity.
It sounds like he's finally happy. He kind of comes here and it's not a big media thing. Those localized, and you just come here, just kind of do your thing. People in Texas just do your own.
You know
thing.
what's crazy? I got a conspiracy moment with two. You know why Kyrie's happy in Texas? Because when those people are talking yap about him, you know what he can do?
You know, a quote that I saw, and the reason why, because a lot of times, everybody was saying at the beginning of the season that it's not going to work. They're both are dominant ball handlers. But what I saw a quote from Luka recently, because like I said, Kyrie's been on it lately, and Luke, they called him, they called him Batman and Robin, and Luka said he's Batman, I'm his Robin.
I'm Robin, yeah. And it was funny because they called him Batman and Superman, so they didn't even they made them both the superhero, and he missed that they did that. And he immediately was just like, nah, he's Batman. I'm Robin. I love Luka's happier than anybody right now. He's happy.
Want to play ball.
Yeah.
He don't want all that other stuff that comes.
He wants somebody with a ball game that can kind of top his and respect his. Like, I don't think Luka you don't have to carry a team.
Luka's never played with anybody even close to as good as Kyrie Irving.
You gotta cherish that, man. Definitely cherish that.
It's a lot of fun. Like, think about it. Yeah, it's fun dominating and being the head of the franchise and all that shit. That's cool, and winning games and being the man. But then, like, when you want to win and also just carrying all the time, it's great to have another guy who can go out there and give you 40. Like, there's times he goes to the bench. Every time he used to go to the bench, y'all give up 15, 20-point runs, or something like that. Now he go to the bench and he come back in the game and y'all up by more because Kyrie out there with like 40. He's having a lot of fun, and that's the best thing that could be happening for y'all. So he'll stay.
Give another shout out to my man Isaiah Thomas, man. He's on the NBA roster once again. He's with Phoenix. Coach was real blunt and honest the other day about his playing time. Coach said basically, if we have a roster of guys that continue to be hurt, then Isaiah will continue to play. When these guys are not hurt no more and our roster is back to full strength, he won't play. And that's the agreement we know, and that's what we on. And he's humble enough to just be in a lineup and playing at this current moment. So shout out to IT, man. Still trying to, compete at the NBA level, man. Shout out to the man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Shout out. And hold on. There was something else I wanted to speak on. Little funny. Michael Beasley and Nate Robinson, little Twitter war. I believe last night or earlier today, in regards to obviously, Coach, we all know LeBron Jordan debate. We never want to hear it, all this and that, but I guess Beasley was shouting that Bron's the guy, and Nate Robinson basically said, "You smoke too much, bro." He said, "That's all that weed you smoke," basically stating that Jordan's the GOAT, and basically nobody rocks LeBrons with pants and a t-shirt, basically. So.
It's two old men fighting.
Two old men fighting, man. But both great athletes. Actually, Nate Robinson, last time I checked, he had to have he needs a kidney, I think.
Yeah.
He's awake? That's how hard he hit him?
How this guy who you talking about? Who you playing? Oh, that's what Michael Beasley said. Michael Beasley said, "Yeah, man, damn, why you do me like that, son? He said, you got hit harder when you plank. He said something about him planking in the ring, basically.
Yeah.
So him getting knocked out by Jake Paul.
Forgot about that.
But very real, my man Nate, before that, Nate was here. I look like Nate, the way he was doing a little bit. I mean, he's a 3-star athlete, I think, or 2-star athlete. So, he's athletic. But for the first two.
In college, he was unbelievable. Basketball,
he's a cornerback.
He probably would have had a better career at corner, honestly.
Yep.
And then Jake Paul, after like 2.5 minutes, man, said, "Hey, here you go." And I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna say this here on wax. I don't want it to happen,
down, young man.
But it could happen to one of our favorite guys growing up, Mike Tyson. It wouldn't be crazy, even at 58 years old. But at the same time, I think Jake ready. To get his first real matchup. I mean, this is his first real matchup, but it's a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, so. We'll find out on the date.
Mike's so unpredictable, man. It can be an exhibition, but Mike can just flip a switch and our chaos breaks out.
No. Rumor has it that I think it's already been approved, or they're trying to approve it. They're trying to get this to be a sanctioned fight.
That'd be fun.
And I heard that they only have like one hurdle to hit. And I heard that hurdle is not that hard to hit. So if that hurdle hits and they get that toe, we're both. Oh man, listen here. Mike might bite his ear, bite his leg, anything.
He's not gonna have to. It's a real boxer, man. They both gonna be ducking each other for most of this fight.
They try to make it to the end so and get paid.
Basically.
Oh, fellas.
What you got for shout outs, fellas?
Man, shout out to everybody who came through with the chat. Shout out to you fellas. It's been another fun show. Parlay Perspective. Got a bunch of news in today. That was dope. So yeah, we're gonna keep moving forward, man. Look forward to more of these.
Definitely. All day.
And shout out, come see the draft, man. Play the draft thing.
Play it.
Oh, yeah.
We had a draft commercial. You ain't play it. Man, played it for us, not for the people.
We want some powdered donuts, Will.
Play it for the people.
Hey, we got the draft coming up. We're probably about 4 or 5 weeks away?
Yeah, just about.
Oh, no. We are a month away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. As of tonight. You're right.
We are a month away.
So to help you remember it, check your boys out.
Join STWF-TV for the draft. Hosted by The Parlay. April 26th and 27th. Enjoy the fun and join in the conversation. April 26th and 27th.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
Set your schedule. Put it on your calendars. Make sure you hear. Calling number's going to be live and popping. We're going to cover you. We damn sure going to have you covered for rounds 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, that is all I am promising this year. Your boy bit off way more than he could chew last year.
I couldn't let you do it by yourself, though, fam.
It was wild.
He backstage catching Z's live.
Fellas, I gotta show y'all this, man.
What's that?
I gotta show y'all this, man. This is Steph Curry after the game. Draymond, I think Draymond about to come up to him. Believe the Warriors beat the Magic tonight. Draymond over he give him a hug.
He been in the back killing the whole time.
That's his man's. He
that's man forever, dog. But it's just like, yo, dude, I can't wait till I'm far away from you as possible.
Yeah, except he also knows that he wouldn't have 4 championships without that man. So
hold on.
Yeah, he's a fucking demon.
Hey, he's so devious.
Yo, that shit like, is screenshotted. For real, dog.
He's Black Dennis the Menace. That dude is just always in some shit.
He is. That's a good one, Will. That's a good one.
Shout out to everybody, man, tuning in tonight. Like, share, subscribe, STWF-TV. As as we hit the springtime, I'm looking at some wardrobe over here. You might see Meta all what, you know what I'm saying? And that might be some suits and ties wearing over here in the next few weeks. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Oh, that's how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling, man.
All right. That's how the man.
Nah, but one of my boys, I want to give a shout out to my man Tyrone, man. A couple years ago, he's like, yo, you do podcasts? He said, yo, you should dress up a little bit for him. And I said to him, man, listen, man, I'm freelancing, man. I'm podcasting, man. I'm just chilling, man. But sometimes I think about it. Sometimes I'm like, I should do it sometimes. So even nowadays, sometimes for work, I'll put on some slacks and some shoes and a shirt. I'll go to work like that. And everybody's like, why are you getting dressed up? I'm just sitting here in my mind, like my man T said sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Even if I don't need to dress up, I should dress up.
They probably think you coming. They probably think you got an interview lined up.
Right, exactly.
He's leaving.
It's always an interview, though. It's never a date. No, what you got a date tonight? No, it's not. We got an interview at.
It's always an interview.
Well, that can be better than court.
Definitely.
Oh,
Now
okay,
it was
that's fair.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
It definitely caught.
That's funny.
But shout out to everybody tuning in tonight. God bless you guys, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. But STWF-TV always turning up, man, throughout the week, rest of the week. We're going to try to figure out a time tomorrow for the rest of the show. Dale can't attend, unfortunately, but I'm going to try to talk to the team, man, between now and probably tomorrow morning in regards to possibly getting the show still popping without it. So,
shout out to you fellas, man. Appreciate you as always. Another great show. Shout out to Bobby, Frankie, Bernard, and Brady. Appreciate y'all hopping in and chilling with your boys tonight, man. Much love, support, and greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Baseball starts tomorrow, everybody. Wake me up. Wake me up for the ball game. I don't want no Cracker Jacks, though. And if anybody gonna think about cheating, they can send me Sosa in the back.
Find this podcast and others on STWF-TV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.